The sun has come out now finally. It's shining on St. Paul's Cathedral. Look at it. Hi there. How are you doing today? Whew. Just been on a bike ride from Portsmouth to London. Took me about 3 days, but I'm here now. It's a nice sunny day, as you can see. Birds are chirping, flowers are growing on the trees. There's so many people around. Not really, but anyway, we're going to go on a tour of London today, and I'm going to show you around the city. But I don't know much about London, so I would like you to help me out. I think I found a map just here. Oh, perfect. This is exactly what I needed. I don't really know London. So today, we're going to do a historical tour of London. Did you know the Romans first came here 2,000 years ago? So we're going to start from where they built the initial wall along here. They built a wall around the city. We're going to start here, and then we're going to go look at the Tower of London. Here, founded by William the Conqueror. After that, we're going to go along the River Thames, have a look at one of the most famous bridges in the whole world, London Bridge. Have a look at one of the most beautiful cathedrals we have in London. We're going to cross the Thames, and we're going to have a look at an old and a new battleship. This sounds very fun. Let's go! 2,000 years ago, Romans invaded Britain and founded the city of London. They decided to base the city around the River Thames, which was a great location for transportation and trade. As you can see behind me, you can see some of the remains of the old Roman wall that they built around the city. This wall was 5 meters high and was guarded by Roman legionaries. London was a very important city during the Roman Empire. It had many different facilities, and I would like you to find out more about what exactly did Roman London have. Roman London was actually called Londinium. I would like you to find out when it was founded and what did Roman Londinium have. We've just arrived at the Tower of London. This was built by William of Normandy when he arrived to England as a way to show his power to the rest of the population. He built the White Tower, which is in the middle of the Tower of London. The rest was built further in years. Throughout the years, this has become a famous place because many famous people were tortured and executed by different kings and queens. I'd like you to find out who was tortured and who was killed during all these years. Now we're at the other side of the Tower of London, as you can see from here, and I've found a cage with some ravens inside. Now these ravens, as you can see over there, are very important. There's an old legend that says that if the ravens shall disappear, shall fly away from the Tower of London, then the kingdom shall crumble. And so there always have to be at least 6 ravens right here, just outside the tower. Now your task is to find out more about these ravens. Who looks after the ravens? Why are they so important? And come up with some interesting facts that you can then tell us. The sun has come out now finally. It's shining on St. Paul's Cathedral. Look at that. That is beautiful. You know there's always been a cathedral here for the last 1,500 years? It's amazing. You know, this was built 1,500 years ago, but it hasn't always been this one. Initially it was built in the year 600 AD, dedicated to St. Paul. I'd like you to find out more about St. Paul now. Who was he? What did he do? The cathedral burnt down a few times, though. It was rebuilt by the Normans, by William of Normandy. He decided to build a huge wooden cathedral. This turned out to be a huge mistake, though. Why is that the case? What happened to the wooden cathedral in 1666? Not everyone's happy with the cathedral, as you can tell. During the Second World War, St. Paul's Church was actually attacked by the German Blitz. However, it managed to stand whilst all the buildings around it fell into rubble. You can find a picture online of St. Paul's Cathedral in the background with a bomb actually launched against it. however, still having managed to survive. Well, I think the skateboarding people really like me. They keep following us everywhere. Maybe they want to find out more about London. Anyway, you should have found out that the St Paul's Cathedral was actually burnt down in the Great Tower of London in 1666. Not this one was the new tower that they built, the new cathedral that they built in just after the tower burned down the whole city. And this one managed to stay strong, standing up until this very day, where it was the tallest cathedral in London for more than 100 years. Today there's many skyscrapers, which are definitely taller than this cathedral, which you can't see right now. Well, you've got to imagine that at the time this would have been huge for the ordinary person to go inside. To look from the outside. Absolute spectacle. Right, we're going to move on now. We're going to find out more about the fire, the Great Fire of London. What happened? And is there still anything today which we can learn from? Well guys, we finally got to the main part of our attraction. You see there the financial centre of London with all those amazing skyscrapers. And here, finally, the centre of our tour, we have the amazing London Bridge. Look at that, that is absolutely
Mr. Brown, sorry, Mr. Brown,
on.
I don't think that's London Bridge. I think London Bridge is the next one. Yeah.
Right. Oh, guys, have a look at London Bridge. Look at that, that's amazing. Gold
Yeah, Mr. Brown,
lights and everything.
Mr. Brown,
Absolutely.
still, I think it's the other way.
Where's London Bridge?
The other way. Over there, yeah.
Okay, right. Well, we're not filming this, right?
Yeah, this won't go in the final documentary, don't worry.
Great, okay. Well,
Yeah.
guys, let's go to London Bridge. Now we've reached one of the main attractions. We've reached the centre of London. London Bridge. Now, it might not be the most beautiful of bridges. It's quite ugly, actually. But, however, it has an incredibly rich past. It's been here for about 2,000 years. The Romans built the first bridge, close to it, made of wood entirely, and it had a drawbridge as well, just like Tower Bridge. It was built as a stone bridge, however, during the medieval ages, and it was quite unique back then. I'd like you to find out why. How was London Bridge like during the medieval ages? I'm sure you found out from your research that there used to be houses on this bridge. There used to be 20 arches holding it up. So much that actually some of the water would not pass through the bridge, so it made it very difficult for boats to navigate underneath it. After many years, they decided to eventually knock down all of the houses, however, and build a new bridge, which is not the one we see here today. You see, in the 1960s, they realized that actually the bridge was very bad quality, and they wanted to demolish it to build a new one. Someone in London had the brilliant idea of putting the bridge on sale. He thought he might go to America and try to sell this bridge to someone rich. What a stupid idea, everyone thought. Who would ever want to build a falling bridge? However, there was this one American billionaire who decided he wanted to buy all of London Bridge and move it onto the desert in Nevada. What they did was that they demolished the whole of London Bridge, they shipped it over to America. And there's a rumour that says that actually this American millionaire thought he was buying Tower Bridge, which you see right over there. A much nicer bridge. And that he was very disappointed when actually what he found was London Bridge instead, which you can still find today in the desert in Arizona. Today, London Bridge still stands as one of London's most remarkable and historic centres. Well guys, I think I found my new favourite place in London. Look at that. That is amazing. Wonder how long it took to make it. Do you know who it is? I'm not really sure. Did you find out from me? Why that personally? Why are you holding a skull? The Fire of London devastated the city, destroying not only St Paul's Cathedral, but up to 13,000 houses, 87 churches, and 100,000 people were left without a home. This is a monument dedicated to the Great Fire of London, built in the years after the fire, where the city burned for 5 days in a row. There was no fire brigade at the time, so people were just there with buckets trying to put the fire out, quite uselessly. Now, the fire, interestingly enough, started 62 feet away from this monument. But I don't know how it started, so could you please let me know? Could you find out how the Fire of London actually started? Who started the fire?
Mr. Brown,
Yes, Cyprian.
can we swim in the Thames?
Swim in the Thames. Ooh, not many people do that, but we could try. Where would we go?
There's a beach down there.
There is a beach. That looks very nice, doesn't it? You know what? I think this could be a good day to go and swim in the Thames. Let's do it. Oh, wow. That was refreshing. We just had a swim in that lovely water. Isn't that amazing? Right, I think we're ready for the next part of the trip. Let's go. What I've just found here, guys, is the actual ship of Sir Francis Drake. This is a reconstruction. So this was rebuilt using the original methods. It took about 3 years to build. And as you can see, it's an exact replica. That's where the sails would be put up, and probably that's where the captain would be, right at the front of the ship. It's called the Golden Hind, and it is a very famous ship. However, I don't really know why. I'd like you to find out why the Golden Hind was such a famous ship. What did it do? What was its journey? I'd like you to find out, please. Wow, well, it's a good thing we didn't bring our bike here. Otherwise we might get arrested. Or walking from here. This, guys, is Tower Bridge. And right here, I'm standing at the point where the drawbridge, at this point, opens up if there are any ships coming from way over there. Let's see, maybe we'll be lucky and it will happen right now. A couple more minutes. Right, guys, I think we've come to the end of the journey. I'm very tired and I have to look for my bike again. I can't find it anywhere. Where could it be? Oh wow, look at that. That's amazing. It is huge. That's a naval warship used during, I think, the Second World War. It's called the HMS Belfast, and you can see those guns there at the top. Those can fire a shot up to 15 miles away. Now, what I'd like you to do, your last task for today, is to find out when exactly this ship was used, in what battles during World War II. I'd like you to find out more about this ship. And I think that's all for us today. I might go and ask the captain if we can get a ride back to Portsmouth. Alright, let's go.